Hey guys, Pokemage here, and today there's a first for the channel and a first for me because I'm actually going to send some cards off to be graded, and I've chosen a company that is not even open yet. It actually opens, what is it, 10 past 6 now, so it opens at 7 p.m. UK time, Wednesday, when I'm shooting this video. Hopefully I have it up later. And yeah, the company in question is this, Pocket Card Grading. Now, in the video, we're just going to go over the website submission, how they grade things, and why I've chosen to go with them as well, because I've wanted to get into grading cards, of course, for UK people, PSA, BGS. They're completely out of the question at the minute, unless you want to spend crazy amounts of money and wait, what, a year plus, which I'm not prepared to do. And the UK market, as we all know, has just been saturated by these grading companies. Some are going to fall. I don't wish that upon anyone's business, but it's inevitable. Some are going to survive it, and obviously we've had Ace recently. They've just like shot pretty much right to the top. We've got other ones like Majesty, MGC, Get Graded, and a million and one other ones. But I've decided to go with PCG. I don't want to jump around loads and get graded here and 3 cards graded with another one. It's for my collection, so I just want them all looking the same, nice and pretty. So yeah, anyway, I'll talk a bit more about that as we go through it. And so let's just check out the website and see what these guys are all about. Of course, as you get on, you got my account, so you just make one as normal. I already have in preparation for submitting my cards in, well, yeah, just over 45 minutes, so better get on with this. So check out this, the About Us, who are PCG. Now, they do have a couple of recent videos on their YouTube as well, where they do go into this in a little bit of detail and what the plans are and things, and we'll talk about that as we go. So here we are. Who are PCG? Just doing this in a little bit. So welcome. We are Glenn and George, two friends and longtime Pokemon enthusiasts. Since finishing the Detective Pikachu set, George is currently in the process of completing the master set for Darkness Ablaze and Rebel Clash. Good luck with that, George. While also collecting as many Nidoking, Mew, and Mewtwo cards as he can find. I can get on board with that, definitely. Glenn is aiming for larger sets by trying to complete Hidden Fates, Shining Fates, and Broken Bonds and the newly released Battle Styles. And good luck with that one, Glenn. He is also keeping an eye out for any special Lucario. So onto the company anyway. Pocket Card Graded started on New Year's Day 2021. So they've been doing this for over a year now. Obviously, these things do take time to put together. You can't just do it in 5 minutes. And wouldn't trust a company that did just get it all done and open in 5 minutes. So it seemed a bit shady. Initially, we wanted to add some excitement to our local card shops by offering the winner of any tournament their favourite card encapsulated for life. After a few months of research and sampling different prototypes, we saw our small project evolving into something much more. It was then what we decided to push our limits and offer ourselves to a new standard of UK grading company. Okay, so why choose them? So we all know at this point that grading companies are popping up left, right, and centre, as I mentioned before. So what makes us different? Well, we aren't going to tell fibs and call ourselves the UK's best or UK's premium grading company. This is something that they all do, and the guys here, Glenn and George, have obviously picked up on that. You go on any website, I'm not going to call them out because, like I say, they all do it. It's like, oh, UK's premier grading company when they've been open for 5 minutes. So yeah, we are two Pokemon collectors who know what we love about the franchise and know what we and everyone else in the hobby deserve from a grading company. So that's nice, like people who actually, give two shits about the hobby, the game, whatever you want to call it. So first and foremost is how we grade. We'll take a look at this link shortly. So we aren't copying the PSA style 1 to 10 with no definitive answer or explanation on why your card got graded the way it did. Nor are we copying the most recent subgrade method that includes surfaces, corners, edges, and centering. Oh, so we decided that if we want to stand out, then we need to grade Pokemon cards our own way. Our method takes a slightly more mathematical approach. 4 categories we inspect are 1 front, 2 sides and corners, 3 back, 4 centering. Yeah, they go into the reasons for it, so I'll skim over this. But if you do watch the video on their YouTube channel, go and check it out if you're interested. And they'll probably go over it here, but the long and short of it is, um, if size and cornering's one, it's separate ones, then there's like a very small percentage that actually goes into, say, the front or especially the hollow part of the card for the grading, which is obviously, maybe you want the whole thing, but it's quite an important part, isn't it? In the back as well, some people might not care about the back of the card, but I mean, if you're on eBay or I'm on eBay and someone puts up a card and there's no picture of the back of the card, I ain't buying it. I'm just scrolling right along. So the back is important, obviously. Some people might disagree, but the whole card's important when it comes to grading, obviously. So if each subgrade is 25% of the score, then we don't want to allocate the complete surface to get half the score that edges and corners get, pretty much what I was saying before. You can watch some detailed breakdowns of our grading on our YouTube. Yeah, they do go into it and explain it much better than I just try to on there. We strongly believe that this gives a more even and fair overall grade to the card. In principle, I agree. Obviously, we will see in practice, won't we? Secondly, we believe that security is just as important as the quality of the grading service. Every slab has a unique serial number that, combined with QR code on the back, will link directly to the catalog page associated with it. But how we protect our product from being forged goes way beyond a simple number. Watermark printed behind the label text is periodically changed with the new waves of serial numbers. Nice touch. And as long as you see our custom hologram, then you can rest assured that it came from us. You can find out more about our slabbing protection measures on the services page. Yeah, obviously security is a big thing. A lot of them say, "Oh, this is a unique thing," but it's not. One or two of them maybe, but they all generally obviously use the same stuff. Lastly, we have so much planned in the pipeline already, and that can only be achieved if you believe in what we do as much as we do. We have coin slabs, jumbo card slabs, and much more that we can't wait to share with everyone. Yeah, a little bit of a spoiler for that video. Obviously, it's not really a spoiler, but one thing I do like that they mention on the video and what they want to do in the future is bulk. They kind of want to get this museum thing going. Just go and check it out. But basically, for us anyway, the customer, bulk trade for grading credit, which to me is absolutely top idea, because got so much bulk lying around. I'd actually like to put it to some use. That would be nice. Our promise as collectors, ultimately, we want to make a product and service that we are not only proud of, but we want to own in our efforts to prove to everyone that we stand behind our product. We're happy to replace or refund anything that is unsatisfactory. To be honest, yeah, that should be pretty standard anyway. But I mean, I've already had one interaction with these guys and they got back to me like that. Obviously, no problem. I was just asking a question. So early thing says they're going to be there with the customer service. I'd hope so. Some of these new grading companies, it's been appalling. I don't get how you think you can open a new business and have shocking customer services and just give the effect that we've got your money now, we don't give a shit. Or social media as well. Some of them, I've been researching these new grading companies for a while now, and some of them have like no social media presence. You can't start and run a business, especially something like this in 2022, if you've not got a social media presence. It's insane. We believe in transparency. Ask a question, we will answer. It's simple. The reason we have got this far already is because of the amazing feedback and interactions on our social media pages. If people don't like how we do things, then they tell us, and we want you to have an input too. Well, yeah, I mean, I've only very recently heard of these guys, I'll be honest, but from everything I've seen, they've basically been in consultation with, community, which is good, already listening to the people. How we grade? Let's get this open in a new tab, shall we? Go back up. What have we got on the FAQs? Yeah, we'll read through this quickly and then we'll check it out. Who are you? We're two enthusiasts who want to make something a little bit different than the rest. We personally think that some standard grading criteria isn't suitable or is missing information needed to properly judge Pokemon cards. We're not going to pretend we are something we aren't. Yeah, I mean, we're grading criteria. So, I mean, some people are going to be happy with that, some people aren't. I don't think every company should just be like, this is how we grade. Like, we just will take PSA's grading model. It's not the best anyway. But I've seen some arguments recently. Obviously, we've had not great press for grading companies recently. both in the UK and overseas. Mentioning no names, but a lot of people obviously still hold on to PSA, and they won't like anything that sort of deviates from that, and they'll say, oh well, it's not worth as much, blah blah blah. Nothing's going to be worth as much as PSA at the minute. It's going to take these guys a lot of time, but grading is a subjective thing, and I've seen people row about that. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Anything a human being does is subjective. Everything's a matter of opinion if a human being's doing it. This is why AI will, at the very least, complement card graders in the future, hopefully in the near future, or just take over it completely, because then you'll get the same thing each time, as long as your algorithm's good enough and it gets it right. Yeah, no, someone could wake up in the wrong side of the bed. Someone, we all have an off day at work. Someone who's been grading card 20 years can give a grade, then the guy or girl sat next to him who's been doing it for 2, it's a completely subjective thing. Well, not completely, but it is. It's down to interpretation. What can I grade? At the moment, our main focus is on Pokemon. Yeah, so they're only doing Pokemon at the minute, guys. They have made that quite clear just while they find the feet, which I think is a good idea. While we would like to expand our team to include other franchises, we are not as well versed in those as we are with Pokemon. Once we train and hire more specialized staff, we will let you know. That's something I am a little bit interested in, on staff and things. Like, obviously they don't need to give us everyone's life story, but maybe how many people do they have? Obviously they just started out. What experience do they have grading cards? But again, some people seem to make out that, if you've not graded cards for like 25 years, you have no business doing it. It can't be the hardest thing in the world. And I'm not belittling it or people who do it at all. I know it's a skill. That's fine, but I think that is something that people really get out of the pram too much about. I mean, if you go back to Ace Grading's launch video, I remember watching it on the Four Corner Collectibles YouTube channel. Go and check them out, formerly Poketorio. And Randolph was saying, oh yeah, well, people used to build cars and paint basically Warhammer models, and everyone's gone mad for Ace. And as the lads on there pointed out, what's that got to do with grading cards? Nothing. So Ace fanboys, don't come after me. That's just what was said, and it's only an opinion. What other services do you offer? I'm glad you asked. Aside from the card grading, you can upgrade your submissions to include a video report to outline all the details of your card's grading process. Yeah, as we'll see when we just kind of go through checkout. Can't get all the way through, obviously, because it's not even open. But you can, for a bit of an extra fee, we'll get the figure later. You can get a video report where they'll go over actually why your card got that grade and, where there's a bit of damage or whatever, which I think is a nice touch. I don't think anyone else does that. Your grade's just your grade, and, stuff you kind of think. So, yeah, that may be a very nice touch. Whether it's popular or not, we'll see. But I imagine some people want it, otherwise they won't be doing it. We also have a cheaper encapsulation service in which you can have any card sealed away without grading, perfect for a beaten up childhood card. Of custom art cards like these painted by the fantastic Professor Oni. Accessories like display stands and slab sleeves will be made available soon. We're trying to source custom binders for certificates and storage boxes in the future. Yeah, so they do basically just, they'll just slab your card if you want to, with a little white label on it, just saying what it is. I mean, obviously you can slab, some people bang them in top loaders or these like screw-on ones that you can get off Amazon or wherever. So, but it's a nice option. So what is the process? We're trying to make this as streamlined as possible. Let us know if we need to change anything by contacting us. So you place your order, list card you send in when you're checking out. There's just, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get onto that side of it because it's all closed down at the moment while they get ready to launch. But there's just a text box in the bottom of your order, and you just like name and number of your card there. Save the package your card, send to order number, Pocket Grading Company at their PO box. And that's it. We'll sort the rest and notify you when they arrive. Are my cards safe? Of course. Safety and security upright. Utmost priorities. That's why they use PO box for submissions. We believe keeping a public address online is just inviting curious people to pay a visit. Yeah, security reasons. In 2022, some people might find that's a bit off, but for me, I totally understand it. A lot of knobheads about. As should be standard, we also have insurance for all submissions. In the unlikely event of a card being damaged or lost, please contact us so we can resolve this. All cards are stored in a locked safe in a locked office that is on-site staff 24/7. Yeah, I was just sort of going through because they had the checkout open for testing the other day, and I think like the highest delivery service is like £8, and it said like £500 insurance, something like that. The one below it was like £100. Whether they're going to change, you know, some of them could have been placeholders, but that's the sort of thing you're looking for, you know, like different levels of delivery, different levels of insurance, and so on. Okay, so we've got our grading scale open up on a new tab. So let's check it out because this is what a lot of people will be interested in. And we'll also be checking out my cards against this before we send them off. So we've spent a lot of time testing out different methods to arrive at the scale. We'll just try it for yourself and see how you do. Please note the scale is a guide that includes, but is not limited to. See, so this sounds like it could be quite different, you know, so it'd be interesting, you know, to, I think they do as well, if I remember correctly, they will like regrade your card if it's in another company's slab or whatever. Whether, you know, you could get, let's just take get grading as an example, get graded 10 and they give you an 8. You know, if the grading scale is going to be different, depends. So some companies are really shady about the grading scales and why they do it, and how they do it. I like how, that's one of the main things that's drawn me to pocket card grading, is in the videos that I watched and on here, they're just totally upfront about everything. You know, the slab, these, it's not a big secret, and nor should it be. And if they are keeping it a big secret, as we've seen with quite an expensive thing recently, how they do things, it's shady. So, yeah, and you can't trust what they're doing is actually right. So, front, 10, this can only be given without any flaws. Fair. 9, if the front is almost perfect, usually one small blemish, noticeable under magnification. 8, front will be in great condition with the exception of one blemish or multiple depending on size, visible when pointed out. Any form of deck scratches will be limited, will limit the front to a 7. 6, if the front has any substantial scratches, deeper than deck scratches, then it cannot exceed a 6. 5, bends or creases will limit the card to a 5. Severity of the bend will decrease the grade further. This concerns me a little bit. Creases, totally. Bends, no. I saw a few people online the other day talking about bends on cards and whether it affects grades. You know, because say you leave a hollow celebrations, leave any celebrations card out for 5 minutes, not in a binder or anything, or even in a sleeve, and it's just going to fucking go right up. It's going to go right up. So, but there's nothing actually wrong with the card, and you can't stop it on a lot of cards, especially hollow cards. You know, they're notorious for it, and some people are saying like, no, they've had quite a bended card. You know, I'm not talking about folding and putting it in your pocket like we did back in the playground when we were kids in the 90s, but I'm talking just that every card will bend over time. You know, if you leave it out, it'll bend. Even like binders bend cards to a degree over time. So, if that's gonna, yeah, I think that's gonna have a bit of leeway. If that's what they mean by leaving a card out, then that's gonna nail everyone's grades. I was saying, I've seen people online asking like PSA, have they had it, do they drop your grade for it? And everyone was basically saying no. You know, they've had bended cards that have had a bit of a bend in them, and they've been fine. So yeah, I'll be interested to see if that's what they mean by that. This will have the card in aesthetically poor condition, combine issues from grades 5 to 7, so that's your 4 grade. 3, if the card is peeling anywhere, it's limited to 3. 2, the front is deemed very bad condition, combine issues from grades 3 and 4. 1, if the card is torn, trimmed or tampered, then it cannot grade higher than a 1. Now most of them seem pretty fair, don't they? I have to say though, I mean, I don't want to obviously, you know, you have to see what they're like, but and you don't want a company like throwing 10s out at all. But these seem like you might get some what we'd normally perceive as pretty harsh grades, send them to other companies. Back, just having a quick read through this, and it's just the same as the front, really. Sides and corners, like, so obviously they've combined these. You know, you get a BGS, for example, and that's got edges and corners separately. So 10, flawless sides and corners will grant a 10, no indication of cut from factory. 9, if only one corner is a minor imperfection, it cannot grade higher than 9. Whitening on one corner will limit the grade to an 8. So that's whitening on one corner. So obviously you can get like a little dot on a, you know, on a pack fresh card. So 9, minor imperfection. So what if it's not like perfectly rounded? If there's a little bit of a bump, maybe. 7, minor blemishes on one corner or one side will limit the grade to a 7. All right, so that's going to be like a little bit of whitening or silvering on the edge. 6, whitening on two corners, limit grade to a 6. 5, blemishes on two corners and two sides will limit to a 5. 4, whitening on three corners will limit the grade to 4. 3, blemishes on three corners and three sides or any form of peeling will limit the card to 3. 2, whitening on all four corners will limit the card to 2. 1, blemishes on all four corners and all four sides or a layer of card torn, peeled off will limit it to 1. Well, so they're the 4. Sorry, no, we've got centering to go as well. Handy little like diagram here of how it's done. So obviously 10's 50-50, 9's 55-45, 8's 60-40, 7 65-35, 6 70-30, 5 75-25, 4 80-20, 3 85-15, 2 90-10, 1 95, 5 all lower. Now, this actually seems like a grading company where your centering does actually matter. A lot of people I see on Reddit and so on are just like, oh, the centering on that's shocking. That's never a 10. Look at people's grading scales, guys, because a lot of companies don't really give a shit about it. They don't really care about centering. Can be, what's PSA? It's 60-40, and on the back it's like again like 75-25 or something ridiculous. So yes, centering for 9 out of 10 grading companies is not that important. I personally think it is. But that's going to be a kicker for a lot of people with the centering we've had recently on some sets. Chilling Rain, looking at you. So we got the final grade then, and I do like this. So basically, I'm sure it's going to say it underneath, but you get this every card they grade. So it's your grading sheet, what the scores are, and then if they found a blemish, because sometimes you'll think there's not a scratch on there, they'll point it out to you, which is nice. Nice little picture of the label there as well. I think it might be slightly different from that at the minute, but no, crazily. No, I think that actually might be it. Nice and fresh, isn't it? So each graded submission will include a metal certificate. Yeah, so you get a metal certificate with your grade on as well, and you can pop it in your binder. They mentioned that in their video, which is nice. Sort of like a placeholder for your card that you've taken out your binder. Love that idea. Of authenticity, and a digital grading report sheet accessible by scanning the QR code on the reverse of the label, and photo of your card will be saved locally. So pot report. There's nothing on the website at the minute. I think they've got one. Maybe it's not just going up until they've done some submissions that make sense. We will see. We will see. After the subgrade has been decided and confirmed by a second grader. See, it is subjective because why do you need 2 people and everyone has 2 people? But I'll stop beating that drum. The average of 3 grades, front, sides, and corners back, is found by combining them and dividing by 3. However, if the grader feels one subgrade is strong or weak, example, they reserve the right to move the grade up or down by 1. Found that keeps an honest mathematical score instead of limiting the final score by the lowest subgrade. Centering cannot raise a grade, only bring it down. Well, yeah, I kind of get what they're saying there. That those 3 are more important than centering. And then they do reserve the right to move it up once, twice. So I think that's so they're not being overly harsh. So a little bit of wiggle room to like, well, is that worth bringing the grade down, or can we just pop it up? And centering can't raise the grade, only bring it down. It's possible to score an overall 10 by being 10, 10, 9, 9. So only lucky few achieved all 10s on the super grade to have a graded card that truly stands out. It's a 10 plus, because the ultimate Pokemon collector deserves the ultimate presentation for their card. Yeah, so this is the different label. Keep right clicking, because they've recently updated the website to put them on. So you got like the cracked ice similar to the Vivid Voltage Charizard thing going on. I quite like it. It's not too crazy. Yeah, bit different. You know, some of them just go. Sorry, popping the mic. Some of them go mental, don't they? We're changing them like different colors and all that. That's something different. Yeah. Right. So grading service. Before we get into this, guys, those labels and things. That's another reason. Now, I'm not calling out Ace here. Calm down. The UK companies, I'm not a fan of any of the labels so far. When I started looking into these, obviously I was just like knocking ones off my list. So we've got ones. There's an AI grading one, where they've just got no social media presence whatsoever. So I'd have gone with them, to be honest, because AI grading. But if you've not got a big social media presence, then I'm not going to trust your AI system. Put it that way. You need to put some effort in. Now, other ones, MGC. For me, in the UK, it was between MGC or Ace. I'm not going to go over all the other ones. I just won't go with them. You probably know why, if you have your eye on the UK grading scene. So it was between MGC, Majesty grading, and Ace grading. Now, Majesty, it's just like, it's too similar to PSA. I mean, from everyone I've done, like say, lots of research, spoke to lots of people whose opinions I trust. They've not got a bad word to say about MGC, really. You know, they're great at what they do. Customer service is great. But for me, aesthetics are needed as well. You know, it's an important part, and they're just PSA but blue. Sorry, but it is what it is. And I'm not a big fan of PSA labels either. It's a massive thing. Now, obviously, you then turn that to Ace labels, and they've, you know, knocked it out of the park, to be fair to them, when it comes to labels. But it's a personal preference, isn't it? And at first thought, oh, you know, they'd be really nice. Change my mind, as you're allowed to do, guys, over time. And Ace labels, no, gimmicky. I am on the side of they are gimmicky. They've put a lot of effort into it. Fair enough. Some people love them, so it works. But it was always going to be a controversial thing that split people. And yeah, I don't like it, and it's my money, so I ain't going with Ace. And yeah, Ace needs to be open a bit more as well. I was having this conversation the other day. I know they've sort of shot right to the top of the UK grading scene, but you can't be PSA and BGS's sort of replacement, or in the meantime, come with us when you're always closed. And you shouldn't be charging like 50 quid for card grading either. You've been open 5 minutes. You can't justify that. So yeah, and I know they're really busy, and I know why they close it. But it was always a lose-lose scenario on that front. They're always going to be so busy that they had to do it. So don't say that you're going to be there to replace other companies when you're just not. It was never going to work. Again, just opinion. Don't crucify me for it. I'm allowed an opinion. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch. Anyway, so rants over about other grading companies. Welcome to the store. If you can create an account, then you can check out quicker and be updated on orders and future products. So just basically what you need to do. I think it's pretty obvious, but we'll go over it anyway. So you fill out your submission form, save the box your submissions. They will document your submissions and notify you. Yeah, I think they say that they make sure like they video themselves or something. Opening. Might be wrong. I'd have to double check that video. Just in case, you know, your cards are damaged. They don't want any shit from people, which is fair. You know, people try and pull anybody up on anything, even when it's not their fault. 4, your cards will be graded. 5, your graded cards are sealed. 6, photo of slab and scan of grading report. 7, full quality control inspection. 8, post back and notify you of dispatch. So all our card slabs are sealed with an ultrasonic welding machine, and each label will include a unique serial number, QR code, and hologram to show that it came from us. When submitting cards to us, please make sure it is addressed as follows. So yeah, as it was before, your odd number, pocket card grading, PO box, Ashford, blah blah blah. So yeah, so we'll just have a quick look at these. So let's zoom in a little bit. My head's behind one. So yeah, they do hand drawn by Potter full art painted card. We'll put that in. So that's a collaboration for 30 quid. Professor Oni, as it was on the Outers page earlier, I think it was, as well, 30 quid. Pokemon card cross grade. So, and that's just for regrading, whether it's your one from these guys or I think a different company. I think they'll just regrade your card. I'll probably be doing that a couple of times if I like the service from them, because I do have a few lying around from other companies that I wanted to take a look at the slabs and things. What have we got down here? Pokemon card encapsulation. So that's £5, just to bang it in a case without any grading. And then the reason we're at the Pokemon card grading itself, so £12 to £20 they're saying. So let's have a look at these options. Okay, I'll just zoom out a little bit. So Pokemon card grading, £12 to £20. So 5 grades, £11 each. 10 grades, £10 each. 20 grades, £9.50 each. So grading, so it's standard and with video reports. Let's just check one out. So standard form of grading, this encapsulates your card with a grade that is found from the subgrades, front, back, sides and corners, centering, and includes a metal certificate of authenticity. Please allow up to 6 weeks for return. So that's nice because they're already telling you that. Expect 6 weeks. No, oh, if you pay us £50, even though we've just started, we'll get it back to you in a week. Stay away from that. Standard with video report. This is an upgrade on the standard grading that includes a detailed video report of the condition of the cards. Players allow up to 3 weeks after you receive your returns for the upload. Excuse me. So, of course, you know, they're going to do it at a time. 3 weeks. Some people might think, oh, that's a little bit long to wait, but you know, these guys have just started out, so maybe cutting some slack on that front. They'll probably do, you know, batches at a time, so they'll record everyone and then put batches out. They've got grading to do as well, haven't they? So I suppose it just depends how busy they are. Hopefully for them, they'll be quite busy. I'm sure they hope so. So yeah, obviously we can't add this to cart just yet. But like I say, you just go through like any other website, you just put your details in where you want them sending to, and there's just like a little text box down here, and you just put it in. Right, so they open in 18 minutes, so I need to get a little bit of a twitch on, but we will quickly check out the cards that I am going to send to them. I'm going to send 2 cards off, so give me a minute, guys, and we'll have a look. Right, guys, well, these are the two cards that I'm going to be sending off. Just start off with. They are, if you are interested in using this company, they are hoping to have submissions open again in a week or so. So these will be going today and then, well, tomorrow, given the time. And then I'll send some more off in a week or two if I'm happy with it. So first off, Dragonite. Now, these two won a poll on my Twitter, and I might do one as well. So let the community decide what gets sent off. Now, this is what I mean about bending, because just keep this in mind, yeah, because it was out for a little bit. So some people might just think, oh, that's shocking with this card, but it can happen. I probably should have put it away a little bit sooner, but it happens. A little bit of a bend there. But if we look at the rest of the card, I'm not going to get a ruler out and do this, but the centering looks pretty bang on to me. I'm not a grader, but I don't see much wrong with that. Looks quite well. Check the corners out. They look nicely rounded. Don't really see anything wrong with that. Edges are fine, you know. I mean, it's a new card. All I've done is pull it out of a pack, so there shouldn't be much damage, you know. They look all good. No little spotting or anything. And this is what I mean about that bending. And I mean, you know, if it's got a crease, like a crease mat, like you fold it, then fair enough. But what was it? Was it the 5, the grading scale? So if that's what they mean, then this would be a 5, regardless of the quality condition of the card. So that's going to be interesting to see, because I think that'd be harsh. If you agree with that, let me know, because I am interested to get other people's takes on that. And the other card I'm sending off is this lovely boy here, this Charizard Gx from Hidden Fates. Now, this is like the first major pull I got when I got back into collecting. So yeah, what was it? Just over a year ago. So it's quite apt that I think this is the first card I send off to get graded myself. Again, centering on this looks pretty good to me. Corners look fine, edges look okay. There's nothing wrong with the surface of the card. There's no print line or scratches or anything on it. It's in immaculate condition. Looking at the back. Don't really see anything wrong. Oh, what's that? A little bit popping off there, maybe. But it's not on the back, it's just a little bit there. So that might bring excuse me, that might bring that one corner down, maybe. Be a bit annoying though. But if it didn't, yeah, I mean, these two cards for me are in absolutely fantastic condition. So I'm liking that I'm going to send these two cards, because one, we get to see if that's just going to get a 5, because there's a bit of a bend on it. I might put it under a book before I send it. And that little corner mark on that. But barring that and how harsh these guys are going to be with their grades, I mean, they're both 9s or 10s. I think I know everyone says my card's a 10, but centering's fine. There's nothing wrong with the edgings or anything like that. They're not misshapen corners, so they look fine to me. So if that gets a 5, then we'll know why. But to me, I'd want between a 9 or the 10 plus for that. And again, really, I'm looking at least 9s for both of these, at least. Yeah. If you have more experience than me in the comments, feel free to tell me why they wouldn't be if you think I'm overreaching, but I don't see anything wrong with either of these. Yeah, hopefully. Obviously, when they do come back, guys, I will do a grade reveal video as well. They're only taking 100 subs. So if they're going to still be 6 weeks, maybe not, for the first one. But they do say give them 6 weeks, so that's fine. So hopefully in about 6 weeks' time, I'll be back with a video on these two. Yeah, in a week, as I was saying before, guys, they are hoping to have more submissions. So maybe give them a try. If you want to wait, then that's, you know, up to use. But I've been looking for a grading home for all my cards, and just what I've seen from these guys is maybe give them a whirl over the other ones. So these have really piqued my interest. Hopefully we can get some good grades on there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the grading reveal and my other videos. Thanks for watching. Hope you found it useful, and I'll see you soon.